faz a máquina de maneira.
Nós sentimos falta de vocês.
Chegamos, professor, chegamos. Pode começar mesmo?
So good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to start presentation of the red team. So basically, our team is composed by a
Não, acho que tem que passar. Eu acho.
Isso foi você, né?
by different areas. So this is our team: Angela, Erika, Gabriel, me, Jessica, Stephanie, and Thais. And first of all, before I start, I would like you to pay attention to these images that we have here. And please know that they all have something in common, which is water. And knowing that water is a really precious resource for all of us, the animals, and the environment also, these are some key facts that we have regarding water. So we have from 80 to 90% of the water worldwide that is not treated. And we also know, and it's scientifically proved, that untreated water is a source of antimicrobial resistance and antimicrobial propagation. When we do the correlation between poor sanitation with unsafe water, and we have direct impacts in bacterial infections, antibiotic usage, and healthcare costs. But these impacts, they are all negative because it increases all of these levels that we are mentioning here. So, knowing that this is a global problem, and also bringing up this image, which is basically where we can actually see all the red dots, which are actually residues from antimicrobials, and we can see that it actually goes from all the food production chain, considering all the animal production, and also from our residues, and it all goes to the water. So we can see all the red spots in the water. So it all ends up in the water. And my question here for you today is, do you know what we are drinking? What do you drink? What do you have in this water? Do you have any ideas of that? So thinking about that, we came up with a portable filter in order to provide drinking water without antimicrobial residues and without microorganisms. And this is our product, NB Filter, which is basically antibiotic free. And what you can see here, it's underlines that few features of our products that makes the difference when we consider our competitors. So we are talking about an antibiotic free water, a product that is actually biodegradable, and a price which is actually less than 100 reais. And this is what we want to provide to our customers. So our technology, what is our differential in terms of technology? So we are basically uniting, making the union of original technology, which is basically the capacity of filtering water, so water filter, plus PLA plastic, which is a biodegradable plastic, hollow fibers, which are these ones here, which will be able to filter properly the water. Cellulose foam paper, which is this one, sorry, it's malfunctioning. Cellulose foam paper with nanocapsules, so we are integrating nanotechnology, and activated carbon to take out the residues that the new technology might implicate in the water. So another extra feature is that if we consider that per year a person consumes around 167 plastic bottles, and that this could be substituted by 2 of NB filters, which is actually our products. This is basically something eco-friendly because it's biodegradable, and we are making a difference, and we are reducing the emission of plastic in our environment. When it comes to market, so our team basically made 2 different market analyses. So when we consider international market, and we actually consider the 2 biggest e-commerces here in Brazil for the national one and internationally wise. We found out 8 potential competitors. And here in Brazil, we basically do not have a direct competitor because when we consider our three different futures, none of the international competitors do have this, because this is our three main points. This is what we want to integrate in an existing technology. And in our e-commerce, when we consider Mercado Libre or Americanos or any other e-commerce here, we don't have a direct competitor. So we don't have people actually selling it here in Brazil. In terms of market validation, we are going through a process right now to validate the market and actually focus better in our public. So we are doing that in order to establish our roadmap and our MVP. And right now, just an estimation of our cost production. Basically, we have a really rough number here, 40 reais, because as we still did not, we're still not able to define the quantity, the exact quantity of each material that we have. We already have a list of materials, but we still going to, the quantities are still on trial because knowing, we have the rough numbers for each material, and not considering also the industry, the industry. So this is basically the cost that we can actually find in the normal market on the internet or something like that. So basically, this week is we are planning to do the trial, so we will know exactly the quantity that we need, that will be needed to produce our product, right? And then we can establish our profit, how much we are going to add to the value of the product. And so basically, when we consider these three main points, so AMR impact, life quality, and sustainability, we can say that our product actually is reducing the negative impacts of AMR for human health, in that case. We are aiming sustainability, as I have mentioned before, and we are also providing life quality for the people. We are providing this opportunity for people to be able to have a better quality in their lives. So basically, this actually impacts in their health too. And thank you.
So it was a very nice presentation.
Better than yesterday, also.
I'm just struggling with one point of your product or your idea. For example, I'm here at Hypook, I'm outside of my home, outside of my work, and I just bought this. Suppose I doesn't have this and I have an NB filter, and I'm 30. Where I would go for water?
Toilet.
Yeah, and then I would put the NB filter in the sink or the toilet. I mean, what I would put? I would need a cup, and I would need, probably, I would get a plastic cup to put the filter in. So this thing about not using plastic bottles, I'm just struggling and understand this point.
Mm-hmm. So the real idea is, that's why we mentioned that our market validation is still ongoing, because when we think about people that will eventually be using it, we have a wide range of public, and
I would not be in this.
so that's why we are doing the market validation, because based on what we had, the inputs that we had yesterday, we are actually changing, trying to adapt and do a better and focus better on the public that we want to aim. And to do this market, and remember that we had a questionnaire.
Yeah.
So we are changing the structure of the questionnaire in order to get the exact public that we want.
Okay.
So we have two different points that we actually, now I'm going to explain anyway. So we have two different points. We want to investigate the sport people, and we also want to gather the basic knowledge from the normal population, right? Normal population would be this, would be people that actually, like in your situation, so if I don't have a recipient, so can we add a recipient here?
Yeah.
Why not? BPA free, or using the same plastic that we are going to use to elaborate the tube, right? And the other population is the people that actually care about this. They have a healthy lifestyle. People that also do camping and all this kind of things. Because these are three different publics that will invest differently also in the product.
Okay.
Okay.
But basically, with the product that we have designed from now, we have and we're gonna do a thing this week. You can get your NB filter and go to the toilet water and drink it. It will be safe. You won't have. You can go to the sink and just put in your hand, or you can put your hand inside the toilet bowl. It will be safe because you won't have any residue of microbes in your water. Yeah, but you actually can't. You need to know that it is safe. It will be safe for you to drink from the toilet bowl.
You have listed 3 features that's very important to your product. Can you go there, please?
Here or the other 3?
No.
The other, not the other, these.
Yes, here. It's very easy to understand. Lower price. You don't have to talk about it. But this nanotechnology to guarantee your antibiotic-free product, it's not clear to me how it's going to work. You know, it's a very new feature. So no one have this kind of thing in Brazil. You just said that just below. And I would like to know, and I would like you to improve a little more and talk very quickly about how this technology is going to work. Because it's, that's the point, it's very new, it's new to anyone that is going to listen to you. So I think that you can use just a little few seconds to explain, because it's new. I don't know if you get the point.
Do you want us to explain now?
Yes,
Okay,
now
great.
and maybe you can improve a little speech about it.
Because yes, well, that is the balance between what we got yesterday, to be less explanation and more
I
objective
see
to the
that,
point. But
that's
I
very
understand
difficult.
that we
That's
need to
very-
do something
But that's
there.
a new feature, so I believe you can't cut off it at all. You have to spend a little few seconds to explain.
So inside the cellulose foam paper, there will be nanocapsules from copper, zinc, silver, and nickel. And not all of them were, but some, they will, there's the molecule of the metal we will choose. And here is the molecule of the antimicrobial. They will attract each other. So we will kind of lock them with each other, and when they pass through the activated carbon, they will be stuck. So they won't pass through your mouth. You won't digest it. So you won't digest the antimicrobial.
Okay, you mean like it binds it, Kela,
Yeah, it binds it, yeah.
Okay, I think that you can put it on your presentation, just 50 seconds. And maybe you can add, I suggest, I don't know, you can add, oh, this technology is well developed and it's well known. So if you want to know in more details what we're talking about, you can go to internet, or you can go with you and talk after your presentation. So you spend, I suggest you spend a few seconds, just like you said now. And if you want to know more about more details, it goes after the presentation. Okay. Congratulations, I'm very happy to have you here today. It's very good, very good idea, congratulations.
So, apparently you have find a way, no? And come back to slide the global.
The global market.
No, and
Global
the
problem.
picture is the global. I have, yes. I see the only, I see that people. No, I see live people. Only team thinking alike to startup. Because you born small and grow up global. Your product is global, and this is a real startup. Okay, so change. For me, I like it, this. Okay, congratulations. And I have saw on observation. Okay, I talk about another moment and see. Congratulations, very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Please, while the microphone goes away, just go pass through your slide just quickly, just for me to get an overview.
For the improvements.
Hey guys, just very quickly, I have two questions on the technical part. The first is how can you ensure that the nanocapsules aren't going to go into the water?
The nanocapsule will be inside the foam, the cellulose foam.
Right, but what's the porosity of the foam so that the nanocapsule can't leave the foam? Because we're talking about something ridiculously small.
Yeah, we will have some papers on it, develop technology, so we're going to do this on Thursday, I think. So we're going to have an answer for you and the MVPs.
Like a proper answer.
A proper answer.
And the second question is the pressure of the water. So is it just going to be normal pressure, the water passes through and this filtration happens? Or do you need to like fill a water bottle full and squeeze it so that that pressure forces the filtration to happen?
Normal pressure is sucking pressure from your mouth to a bottle.
And then one thing I would suggest, I know that you guys aren't going to be able to have this answer, just testing would be able to give you this answer, but try and come up with an estimate of how much you're going to filter. Because are you planning on having an 100% efficiency? Are you going to take everything out, or are you going to take...
Yeah, we're going to smash the antimicrobial and suck it with the water and do a chromatography so we can see the without the filtration and with the filtration. We don't have a quantity, amount of antibiotic when we have the reduce of the stain on the paper, on the chromatography paper.
Gotcha.
So we have the stimulative.
Sounds good. Congrats, guys.
And after today's discussion with the team, you're also thinking about a slightly change, to do a slightly change in the format of our product, just to make it look like different, not to just think about like straw, for example. We want to make it a little bit different, but it's still under discussion. So maybe it will be different in the last presentation. So.
Well, first of all, congratulations, group. I thought, I heard something yesterday about pesticides. I think you mentioned something about pesticides yesterday on your presentation. And since you were mentioned about antibiotic residues that you are removing from the water, have you thought about pesticides also? Because it's on your, I think it fits in your proposal. So I would like to listen about this.
Actually, I mean, if we go back to the picture that we showed in the beginning, it's clear that pesticides also go to the water. This is like agriculture, and it's something really, really big, irrigation and everything, it goes to the environment. But it's actually a good idea to really consider something like that. But first, we would prefer to do the trial with antibiotics, for example, which is actually the focus, and then if it works super mega well and we have the opportunity and time to do the test with pesticides, then it would be great. But it's also a great idea, and it fits in the scope of the product.
I'm sorry that I couldn't stand to see all the presentation, but I've seen the slides and I realized that you did a lot of improvements in your slides. And listening to the discussion, you already filled some gaps. Also, there are always gaps to fill. When you fill 1,000 gaps and then you go back to the beginning, there's another gap to fill. That's life. But you're getting much more improvement. The value proposal, it's more clear, and the global problem, the global appealing, and whatever. And it's really one health product because it's in the environment. And it's the only product focusing on the environment, and so we have two products focusing on animal production and two on hospital and one environmental. So the groups are very well divided in their objectives also, the solutions. So it's very, very nice to see how all the teams made a lot of improvement from yesterday to today. And now you have 2 weeks to keep improving, So please talk to people, please talk to professionals, please talk to key opinion leaders. They're very, very important, and in this next 2 weeks, present the pitches not only to Ravi, but all to other professionals that you might be in contact with, or come to us, come to the mentors, ask who else can we talk to. And this next 2 weeks will be very, very important for you, but congrats, Red Team. You've done a good job, and I just wanted to keep improving it, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'll say bye to Javi now, and we were talking in Portuguese.
Bom, pessoal, isso que eu falei.
Continua falando.